Swear like she don't got the answers. Who's the boss? I feel like Tony Danza. Walk up in there like I got the swag. What kind of swagger? I'm the Blackest Panther. Wakanda, y'all are wasting our time. I spend it, but I ain't wasting a dime. Might do some favors, but I ain't breaking my spine. Your girl is the caller for days. I get no different ways. That New Orleans parades. Yeah, we like, none of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation. Y'all all with it and y'all talk a lot, but y'all ain't got the heart to do the mission. I'm hard-headed like the juggernaut, but there ain't nothing I can do to listen. I'm authentic and I walk around like I just ate, but let you do the dishes. I'm Clark Kent, but mix the Autobots and mix with everything that you've been missing. Please get back and don't get that involved. Freaking sick, I need a padded walls. I'm the king, heavy crown, heavy rain, cat and dogs. Homie with me if you're asking for it. There ain't much that he be asking for. He just wanna have a paddock on with a watch face with little dragon balls. Come on, look, you don't need me either. All I need is this. No coca ice, and I get oh so polite. You be the man of your city, I'll be the man of my country. You could be the man of your city, I'ma be the man of my country. Your girl has been calling for days. I get they know different ways. New Orleans parades, yeah, we like. None of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation, yeah, we like. Your girl has been calling for days. I get they know different ways. Yeah, I'm like, none of my patient. We look like we on a vacation. Yo! Okay, you ready? Look! Yo! Yo! Look at you go! Okay, you ready? Look! Yeah! One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Y'all is a lazy, my posse deep in our rating. We act a fool for the paper. Had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over bait. Put the bread on me, that on my bacon. Big it flat in the bacon. I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas. Head back to my old ways. Cop a roof for all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like a million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke away longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. A few moments ago, the crowd here was on their feet as their beloved Jets made their way out of the tunnel. They're ready to go. We're ready to go, and it should be a good one as those New York Jets get set to face off with the Miami Dolphins. Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First carry for Kenyon Drake. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Go. 20. Go.
Here's Tannehill now on second down. Pass incomplete. There defensively was Buster's screen to knock it away.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Deep.
From the gun, here's Tannehill. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Now a first carry for the former Cleveland Brown, Isaiah Crowell. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Darnold now on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Faking the give, Darnold. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. So now here come the Dolphins. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They'll start the drive with Drake. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. To throw on second down is Tannehill. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. And it's a touchdown for the Jets. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, had some blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to...
Looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Now a run. This is Bilal Powell. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. A tackle that time by William Hayes.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now off the bootleg, Darnold. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Darnold now to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Cordray Tankersley with a pick. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Drake off the give from Tannehill. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. You can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Parker that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Play.
shotgun snap for Tannehill. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And all the way down to the 37. A big play. Tannehill to Parker. 45 yards. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football. And that's worked for the defense early in this game. And now he's got his first completion.
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now Tannehill, he's going to let one go deep for Parker. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Tannehill. Forced out to his side. He's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded just inside the 20. 31 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. New York set to take the field. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
They start this with a run for Powell. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd down, Darnold. Eluding the pressure. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Bear in mind they had 2 interceptions last week, but that was in 4 quarters. They've got 2 here in the first quarter alone.
And the unsung people in this streak, the pass rushers. Because most of the time, they're the ones that affect things in the pocket for a quarterback, trying to throw the football, rushing them, getting them off their spot, harassing them. And that allows the defensive backs, the linebackers, to swoop in and make the picks downfield.
And they're swooping. On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Steve McClendon breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. So after the sack of Tannehill, the Dolphins come up here on a 3rd and long.
Hey, 20. Deep.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. They begin with a run by Corral. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. On second down, here's Crowell. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. The tackle by Robert Quinn.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size.
With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out. Here's Darnold. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain at 21 yards. On first down, Drake. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, 20.
Back to throw, Tannehill. And incomplete on the deep ball. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
3rd and long, it's Tannehill. Buying time to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Tannehill able to take off and pick up the first as well.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. Tannehill, it's complete to Parker, left side. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
Hey, 20.
Here's Tannehill. Dancing to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So after the sack of Tannehill, the Dolphins come up here on a 3rd and long. Now it's Tannehill. Steps away, under pressure again, and down he goes again.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it. Those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Lucky 56.
To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Off of play action, Darnold. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And out come the Dolphins now. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. From the 50, it's Tannehill. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jordan Jenkins in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Here's Tannehill. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. That's going to set him back 5 yards. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. To throw is Darnold. He hits Jermaine Kearse. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Here's a give to Crowell. Stays on his feet. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay, because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Gun!
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here, because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock, because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Darnold from the gun. Dumps off to Powell. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Parker unable to get that one. And now it's 2nd down. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these 1st half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
Here's Tannehill. Complete to his running back, Kenyon Drake. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
On 1st down, Tannehill. It's complete. Stills. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. Brought in over the middle by Graham. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And Sanders pulled it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
A first down carry now for Crowell. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
23 yards on the play.
Sometimes it seems like a tough world out there. Many thought Sam Darnold would go #1 overall to the Browns, and he fell to #3 to the New York Jets. I think he fell to a great situation. He gets to go to New York with a rebuilding team, take over the job right then and there. And while many were expecting Broadway Baker Mayfield, instead, they got sudden Sam Darnold, and I think the Jets fans are going to be very happy to have him.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Darnold. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Akeem Spence, never giving up. He's able to keep working and get him for a loss of 12. The Jets on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Detroit! Gun!
The shotgun snap for Darnold. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for the Jets on 3rd down. 41 yards.
Well, they just treated 3rd and long as simply an opportunity to make an even bigger play. Normally, you're just trying to pick up the first down and you know where the sticks are. They took this thing way downfield. Confidence in the receivers to go up and make a play, even with defenders around them.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On first down, it's Darnold. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
On 3rd down, that's Powell. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
And Myers able to knock it through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through. That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive, and we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Tannehill. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Escaping the pressure right, and he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Second and 10, Tannehill once more. On the left side, this is Stills. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. To the air again, Tannehill. This will be caught inside the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 1st and goal, Drake. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double team at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Tannehill on 3rd and goal. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. The kick by Sanders is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
So out now come the Jets. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now he'll throw deep left side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Cordray Tankersley with a pick. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. That had disaster written all over it. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. He goes underneath to Drake. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it's a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Flushed out right. On the crossing route, complete. It's Grant. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And over the middle, this is Parker. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Play action. It's Tannehill. He'll buy some time right. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Here's a run with Balazs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
To throw is Tannehill. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Being chased out left. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And a short return to the 6-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm. They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. From the end zone, here's Darnold. That's caught right side by Anderson. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. He got 29 yards that time.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And the connection made to Terrell Pryor. The 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Terrell Pryor, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. It's complete to Parker, left side. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And some room to work. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a 1st down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Tannehill on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. A first throw for the backup Osweiler. Forced out to his left. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now it's Osweiler. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Morris Claiborne.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They start the drive with a give to Powell. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Here's Darnold now on second down. And a hook up over the middle to Pryor. And he's taken down, but not before he gets us into enemy territory across the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a handoff to Crowell. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Isaiah Crowell. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Jets. Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. They'll run with Crowell. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll run it again with Crowell. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The Jets on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Crowell. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And Myers able to knock it through. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And the Dolphins getting set to go here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. A good pickup there, a 22. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
On 2nd down, Osweiler. Flush to his right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
The Dolphins on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Osweiler to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
They'll throw on first down with Osweiler, eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. On first down, Osweiler. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
He's going to let it fly. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Marcus May with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And they'll try and burn some clock with a sneak. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Jets, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be at home for one next week against the Oakland Raiders. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.